to everyone for being with us today. It is really good and quite frankly special to be back on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Today is a special day for me, and I can't think of anywhere I'd rather spend it than right here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And so I want to thank so many folks for being here. We've got our Board of Supervisors represented by Connie, and the mayor's here, and my sheriff is here, and our state rep, House Representatives is represented, state Senate is represented. We appreciate all of you for being here. And today I started this morning by visiting the Emergency Operations Center in Jackson County. We had a great visit there, knowing that hurricane season began Monday. We are going into our first weekend, and with 2020 being 2020, we of course have a named storm out in the Gulf on the very first weekend. It appears at this moment that we're going to have a very large and very wet rain event, tropical storm. But again, as we all know so well, that can change at a moment's notice. And so after leaving Jackson County, I went to Hancock County, had a very good visit there with the leadership in that county, and then of course having the opportunity to be here gives me great comfort and great confidence of something that I already knew, and that is folks on the Mississippi Gulf Coast know how to do emergency management. They don't need my advice at all. They know what they're doing. I'm just glad to be here and experiencing this in their stead. We also find ourselves in the middle of COVID-19. The total number of cases that were reported this morning were 209 in our state. As many of you know, Friday is typically a day in which we see larger numbers, not smaller numbers, and so that particular number of 209 is encouraging. I believe we saw, I believe the Department of Health reported 9 new deaths, which is 9 too many. But we are seeing relatively encouraging numbers over the last 3 or 4 days. But we also know that 3 or 4 days does not a trend make. And so we want to continue to encourage all Mississippians to be diligent, to understand that the coronavirus is not over. In fact, it is out there. It is in every single community across our state. And it is incredibly important that we do everything in our power to protect ourselves and protect those most vulnerable from getting the virus. The fact of the matter is, with natural disasters, and particularly with tropical storms, tropical depressions that can turn into actual hurricanes, it complicates matters. It really complicates matters in that as we're trying to do sheltering, we're having to do things that are a little bit more complicated and a little bit more difficult. But we have worked with Greg Michelle and his team, and we have delivered masks to the counties, the cities, etc., to be able to hand those out if in fact we do get in a sheltering situation. In addition to that, we also know that we have large protests going on throughout our state, all of which to this point have been done in such a way where they have in fact been true protests and have not moved beyond that. And for that we are very thankful. But I also want you to know that I have worked with Director Michelle and his team. We are expecting one of the larger protests to occur in the capital city tomorrow. We have delivered masks, and the Mississippi Highway Patrol and others will be helping hand out masks. We want those individuals who have the ability to protest to be able to do so, as long as they are doing so in a peaceful manner. But we also want to remind you that the coronavirus and COVID-19 is real, and it is still out there. And so we want to encourage everyone to wear a mask. That is incredibly important. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Director Michelle and give him the opportunity to give you an update on both the preparations from an emergency management perspective on COVID-19, but also on Cristobal.
Sure. Thank you, Governor. And to the Governor's point, we've been visiting with our lower three coastal counties again today, and I just want to thank Jackson County and Hancock County and Harrison County emergency management agencies, as well as local representatives and leadership there welcoming the Governor and myself today as we go through. The biggest thing that we do is we always do each year. Last year was the same, trying to tighten our shot group to make sure that we're going into the season well prepared. Obviously, this year brings about new challenges with the COVID environment, and of course, as the Governor just mentioned, the topic of conversation amongst all EMA directors, not only here on the lower three coastal counties, but across the state, has been shelter operations. It's definitely going to look different. It's going to feel different. And as we've said before in the press conferences, we're asking people to avoid shelters if they can, if they have other means and other places to go to seek refuge. We did get word this morning that we are going to have FEMA's IMAT team is going to join up with us at the State Emergency Operations Center. They will arrive here at 8 p.m. tonight. It was not something that we requested. They actually reached out and asked if they could come down here and just be here during this portion. That is no indication that we anticipate that Cristobal is going to develop into something destructive, but it always could. And I have spoken today with my counterparts in Alabama as well as in Louisiana, and they are all looking and watching Cristobal very closely. And we look forward to integrating and working with FEMA folks and discussing some of the challenges that we're having this hurricane season as well. So I'm very confident and comfortable with the plans that the lower three EMA directors have, as well as the rest of the state. And as we move further into the season, obviously hurricane season not only affects the lower three coastal counties, and in some cases it could affect the entire state if we get a bad storm this year. One final note, just on note of safety. If you notice, the temperatures are pretty hot outside today. We have gotten some indication that we've had some heat injuries with the protesters. And to the Governor's point, certainly encouraging peaceful protests. And so to that point, I would just like to encourage everyone that's out to make sure that you've got water with you, to hydrate if you're going to be outside and you're going to be protesting. Make sure you have that. And again, make sure that you wear your mask and social distancing. It is hot, and if you're not hydrated properly, you definitely will succumb to the elements if you're not careful. And then last note is we're going to continue to watch Cristobal until this storm gets out into the water and starts swimming and gets into the Gulf of Mexico. It's really going to be hard for us to determine exactly what this is going to be, so we're going to watch it very closely, and I know the emergency management directors are doing the same. So we continue to stand ready. Governor, I can please my update, sir.
All right, thank you. And I do have my mask with me here today. It does have an outline of the state of Mississippi and a heart and the word strong. So this is Mississippi Strong. We do want to encourage everyone to continue to be wearing their mask. I want to personally take the opportunity to thank FEMA Administrator Gaynor, as well as Acting Homeland Security Director Chad Wolf. Director Wolf has actually been in Mississippi within the last 30 days. We appreciate his presence. We appreciate our partnership with our federal partners. They have been very clear from the beginning of COVID-19, from the President to the Vice President to the Coronavirus Task Force to the Department of Homeland Security to FEMA, etc. Our federal partners right now understand that natural disaster recoveries must be state managed, locally executed, and federally supported. And I must tell you that the federal government to date, at least during 2020, have provided resources that we so desperately need. We are very appreciative of those resources. For instance, FEMA Administrator Gaynor called me the day after the tornadoes hit on Easter Sunday. They are sending resources here to be intertwined with our team so that if we need anything, hopefully we'll be able to get that resourced. If your local governments need anything, we'll be able to get that resourced as quickly as possible, which is a big advantage for us as a state, is to have those contacts. And I appreciate everything that all of the local governmental entities are doing here on the Gulf Coast and 3 coastal counties, and really throughout all 82 counties in Mississippi, and want to look forward to hopefully getting Cristobal into the Gulf, moving. Hopefully it will move very, very quickly. Hopefully it'll drop a little bit of rain and then get out of here.